Hey guys, it's Troy again, and this is going to be a really quick session, but so don't blink, you'll miss it. We're going to talk about the roles of different outsourced fiduciaries. So, as we've mentioned elsewhere in other videos, you have a variety of ways in which you can discharge or outsource fiduciary duties. 404C protection is where you're alleviating some liability. We talked about that last time. When it comes to the investment portion, you're basically under 404C pushing liability back to the employee on their fund selection. But that's not an outsourced fiduciary. So, an outsourced fiduciary is a particular entity who is taking on the role of a fiduciary for your plan in lieu of responsibilities that you would typically have. One would be an ERISA 316 administrative fiduciary. Another would be an ERISA 321 co fiduciary or investment advisor. Another would be an ERISA 338 investment advisor or investment manager. And we'll talk in subsequent videos about what those things are in greater depth. But I wanted you to have an idea of exactly what the roles are typically or responsibilities are for those particular entities. So this might kind of clear it up a little bit for you. Let's say, for instance, that we had uh, a fiduciary that was being asked to sign the Form 5500. So you see here the question, select all of the fiduciaries that may perform the task below, and the task is signing the Form 5500. So, can a 316 administrative fiduciary do this? Can a 321 investment advisor do this? Or can a 338 investment manager do this? This is only going to be the responsibility of the administrative fiduciary. This is an administrative task. Preparing or signing the Form 5500 is an administrative task. It's not something the investment advisor can actually do. What about creating the retirement plan committee agenda? And I would add to that keeping the minutes from the retirement plan committee. So, which fiduciaries below can actually perform the task of creating an agenda and keeping the minutes for your retirement plan committee? Would it be the 316, 321, or 338? It's most certainly the 321 co-fiduciary. The 321, if they're a true 321, and this will be designated in your consulting agreement with the advisor, a true 321 is actually equally liable as a fiduciary and a member of the retirement plan committee. So a 321 co-fiduciary with the committee can absolutely bring the agenda and keep the minutes, and probably really should, not someone else on the agenda or on the committee. That's the task of the 321 advisor. I would also say the 338 investment advisor could do this as well, keeping the agenda, keeping the minutes. It's not an administrative task, however, so it wouldn't be a 316 fiduciary. All tasks below are responsibilities of an advisor related to the retirement plan committee, except what? Selecting the committee members? No, that would not be one of the tasks or responsibilities of the investment advisor. I'll use myself as an example. It's not my job to select the members of the committee. I can make recommendations. Like, for instance, if we have someone who is in HR that deals with the plan on a day to day basis, but they're not a part of the committee, perhaps they should be. I can make recommendations, but I cannot select the committee members. That's something that the committee does, or in a larger extent, I guess the plan sponsor, the trustee for the plan, the owner would decide who's going to be on the retirement plan committee. What about updating the fiduciary files? Yes, I can assist with this. This would be one of my responsibilities. Recommending that the committee members receive fiduciary training. Absolutely. I have, and this video is part of my recommendation that you receive fiduciary training. Assist the committee with their roles and responsibilities. Yes, that would be one of my responsibilities. Educate the committee on the importance of documentation. Absolutely. Communicate plan changes as a result of the retirement plan committee meetings with the service providers. Yeah, this is a big part of my job. My responsibility is to serve as a liaison between the retirement plan committee, the plan fiduciaries, and the service providers. So if we make a decision about changing a fund or amending the plan with something regarding plan design, if there's something that needs to be communicated to the service provider, that would typically be my responsibility, serving as a liaison between the retirement plan committee, and the service provider. But what about selecting the plan's service providers? That would not be one of my responsibilities. So I could not, I do not have the authority to change your record keeper or to change the plan's administrator or to do anything related to any outside third party servicing agreements. I can certainly be instrumental in reviewing those for you and bringing different proposals and making sure that those contracts are fair and equitable and that the fees are reasonable, benchmarking those for you and so forth. But I can't ultimately select the plan service providers. That is the role of the retirement plan committee. But I can serve as a liaison once the committee has actually selected the service provider. So, you have any other questions related to what I do or what the plan administrator can do, what the roles are related to the responsibilities of duties that can be outsourced? Let us know. We can always tackle those in a future video for fiduciary training.